Hey guys, Steve from the Tech Buzz Gaming here, and today we have a really interesting video. My brother was at the South Mall in Allentown, Pennsylvania, so he's doing the filming here, and we are back to the arcade. Now, this is an arcade that I thought was pretty cool when he sent me the footage and offered to film this, so I wanted to kind of walk you guys through here, and you're going to kind of get my reaction as I'm checking this out for the first time. I was pretty impressed with the name and what they went for. So we want to kind of take a look at some of the games that are inside the arcade. And I told him, I said, hey, why don't you film it so we can look at it. So pinball fans, it looks like there's some good pinballs there. Looks like they're even working on one. The brand new, that looks like Foo Fighters from Stern. Looks like they've got that front and center when you walk in the door. As well as, I remember that hockey game, MacGyver. If anybody remembers the 80s show MacGyver, he used to use that all the time. We got Seawolf right here. This is something that I seen one similar to this. It was like a submarine type game that Pastimes had. There's some racers here. We've got NASCAR Team Racing. That looks really interesting. They got the roll cage on this. Looks like they are staying pretty busy, considering arcades have been outdated, right? Looks like there's a golden tee there the gentleman's playing, and a big Buck HD Wild. I love my big Buck Hunter from Arcade 1-Up. It looks like they've got something similar. There's big Buck Hunter Pro, super cars there. If you're into head-to-head racing. Kind of looks like the Fast and the Furious setup, but it's from Raw Thrills. Go figure, right? But it does look like the Arcade 1-Up Fast and the Furious. Looks like Big Buck Hunter is out of order. That's sad to see when you're kind of doing a tour and some of the games aren't working. But hey, that is life. That's why I don't own real arcades, because of the work that's in it. Godzilla, brand new Godzilla Mandalorian pinball tables. Looks like they've got that set up along with Rush Pinball and Led Zeppelin. Looks like these guys are going hard there. Always cool to see real pinball tables in action at these arcades. Wonder if they have any kind of leagues and things going on. Again, this is something that was kind of spare of the moment. Looks like the Munsters, the Stevie Ray Vaughan. Some signed memorabilia here inside of the arcade. There's a Star Wars Episode 1. Now, see, I would go play this. This is one of my favorite pinball tables to play, the Star Wars Episode 1. It's got a kind of a mix of a digital pinball table as well as a regular pinball table. So, really awesome. For the Crisis Zone, if you guys are into Time Crisis and some of the other shoot-'em-up games, they have that there. Your claw machines, the toy soldiers. You can't have an arcade without one of them. And I know there's some mixed emotions with people with Arcade 1-Up doing something like that, but I would get one. Skee-Ball. You got to have Skee-Ball and Hoop Fever. I used to have a basketball hoop in my arcade, but I needed some room for some more arcades. It's good to see that there. Looks like there's some air hockey as well as some other pinball tables. Jurassic Park, the Ninja Turtles, South Park, and the Who's Tommy is there as well. So some Data East tables is always good to see inside of the arcade. So it looks like they're pretty pinball heavy, which is interesting, because you either have arcade heavy or pinball heavy. Pennant Fever as well as Freddy's Nightmare on Elm Street pinball. Now, those of the classic series, Nightmare on Elm Street, I know that game has a lot of nostalgia for folks. I was really never into it, but hey, to each their own. Now it looks like we're going to get into some of the arcades. We've got Operation Wolf. Looks like Defender is off to the right. Operation Wolf, I played that a lot on the NES. Not so much in the arcade, but on the NES. Defender was a game definitely played in the arcade. This is a classic. If you haven't, you need to check that out. Look, the machines, from what I'm seeing, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, Robotron, the machines that I'm seeing here, they look like they're in immaculate shape. Not many scuffs or scratches, or screens look really nice. Marquees really nice. Defender Stargate. I think that was something my brother and I were talking about, was that the machines were really well kept. For how old they are. You're talking from the 80s. Atari's Xevious is there as well. Xevious. I always said Xevious. So, Scramble. This is a Stern game as well. This is a rather old game. It's nice to see it's in such good shape, whether they fixed it up or not. Zaxxon, one of Glenn's Retro Show arcade favorite. Dig Dug. I love this cabinet. As you guys know, I have the arcade one up. This was something that was really near and dear to me. So seeing this, the full size cabinet here, beautiful. Cubert Cubes. I didn't really do much with that game. Anybody else have any experience with cubes? And it looked like Double Dragon was there as well. Pac-Man Plus, that is another cult classic in the arcade. Looks like they've got some stools there, which is weird. In some of the arcades, they don't have stools. So that's nice to see that for some folks that maybe want to sit down. Pac-Man, another cult classic. Super Pac-Man, looks like we've got a nice line of Pac-Man games, and Miss Pac-Man off to the right. Again, these cabinets either have been fully restored or have been done up correctly on the restoration process, or they've just been kept that well. Those stools almost look like the arcade one-up stools. I could be wrong, but to my first glance at it, they look the Twilight Zone. That looks pretty cool. It's nice to see the bright colors in here with the black light setting on this. What else do we have here? Track and Field, another cult classic in the arcade. And again, they're bringing this to the mall. So this is a mall arcade, just like we remember as kids. Jurassic Park, this is a more modern arcade, but still, it's a lot of fun. I know I played this at the one mall that we have. You go in there and you can kind of shoot. I think I even played it with my brother or his family. You go in and shoot the dinosaurs, and I think his kids played it too a little bit. It's a lot of fun, and if you're into those shmup type games or just shooting dinosaurs, this is a good fun game to play. Rather large game. My wife was saying we should get something like that. Another larger claw machine. Now it's interesting to see a lot of these arcades have gone to swiping cards, and it's nice to see some coin doors on these. Outrun from Sega, pretty cool. Now I want to see if let's see here, must be 7 years old or older to play. Interesting. So they have an age limit on some of these games. Ladybug Universe. I don't know if I've ever seen Ladybug in the arcade. What about you guys? Have you seen Ladybug in the arcade? Frogger, classic. You gotta love Frogger. In fact, I wish I would have got the arcade one-up version. I just didn't like the way they did the games with it. But Frogger's a cult classic. And we got another Sega title here in Congo Bongo, another great game for the arcade. Space Invaders. Wow, look at that cabinet. Really nice design on that cabinet, and it looks like it's in great shape. And of course, Asteroids. Got to have that in the arcade. What do we got here? Chicago Coin. This is a one of those, I guess you drop the coin in there and it bounces around. I don't know if I've ever seen it. Sea Raider. I think I remember seeing Sea Raider at Pastimes, only on a larger scale. And then you got your cocktail tables. I can't make out. It looks like Carnival. Carnival, yeah, that looks like Carnival. And Galaga head-to-head. But they look suspiciously like one-ups. I could be wrong. Either that or they're just really well kept. You guys let me know in the comments. Again, this is the first time I'm seeing it, doing this voiceover. You guys let me know. Is that a 1-up? I don't have a lot of experience with cocktail cabinets, but what I do know is it just looks, height-wise, looks like it could be a 1-up. Tapper. Oh, that's a great shaped Tapper. Arcade. Wow, it looks really good. And, of course, Cubert. I would love to have a Cubert machine, even if it's a 1-up. Donkey Kong Jr., another great cabinet. And, of course, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is one that I'd really like to get inside of my home, even a real arcade of Donkey Kong. Centipede, we got inside here. It looks like you put coins in them. Galaga, of course, got to have Galaga. And Burger Time. Again, Burger Time, I would have loved to get that cabinet from Arcade 1-Up. I just didn't like the lineup of games. I really didn't. If they bring it back out with a deluxe, I definitely would have to get it, as long as they are the vertical games. I don't like this mix match of vertical and horizontal games on a cabinet. So we're going to check this out here. Was it, I can't read the, something here, trainer. I couldn't make it out. He moved it too quick. Let's check this out. Either way, I'm not familiar with that game. If you guys know what that is, put it in there. Looks like some Mortal Kombat's over there. Looks like he's making his way over. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, gotta have that. That's pretty cool that they have the original in there. 4-player cabinet. You got Street Fighter 2. Looks like you're fighting Street Fighter versus X-Men. Back to the Future. Oh, they got some Back to the Future memorabilia. And the Flux Capacitor. Jurassic Park stuff. Pretty awesome. I like the layout of this arcade. Looks pretty cool. Let's Go Jungle from Sega. Not really informed on that. Nicktoons Racing. Again, I don't have a lot of information on that. Just, checking out. Looks like there's some other memorabilia here. So far, what you guys have seen, there's some more memorabilia, and looks like some tickets of things that you can win. Looks like you get some tickets. Best players looks like, wow, keeps your scores. Led Zeppelin for the pinball and everything like that. What's your favorite game that you've seen here? If you're in the Allentown area, go check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Leave in the comments below. And again, huge shout out to my brother for filming this. Thank you so much. You guys can follow him on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and all that stuff at slurp_fish.